Our Chris Haynes also reporting that Brandon Jennings reached a verbal agreement to join the Wizards. Another threat to the Cavs in the East now. Jennings released by the Knicks on Monday. I mean, look, they are... Don't laugh at me.
No, I'm living that. This guy's funny, man.
I mean, he and John Wall, and Bradley Beal, they're putting a team together down there. No, you're not impressed?
Trey Burke's been playing solid coming off the bench. I don't know what they thinking with Trey Burke and having him and Trey Burke on at the same time, but Trey's been solid.
I mean, this is a great fit for Brandon Jennings. He's coming out of a dismal situation in New York, so I'm happy for him, but it doesn't move the needle for Washington at all. But, hey, he's in a winning situation.
Darren Williams, a bigger pickup for the Cavs than Brandon Jennings is for the Wizards. It is kind of interesting, though, for that second spot in the East. The Wizards making a play. Boston's certainly been playing great. Toronto, obviously, with Kyle Lowry, a bit of a hit, but certainly making a play at the trade deadline.
Yeah, but, man, long as the king is there and then all those pieces around him,
it's all for nothing.
It's going to be tough to beat them.
That's the question, right?
You still got to play.
Any of these teams, what's your window? Isn't the answer it's LeBron James' window, right?
Yeah.
Whenever the king steps down, then you can reign the throne. But now...
You have to try, though, because you never know. Someone could get injured. That's how we started the show.
Absolutely.
That is it for today. Sixers announced Joel Embiid's status has changed. No longer out indefinitely. He is out for the remainder of the season. Tear in his left meniscus. So, guys, this is becoming a pretty big controversy of whether he should win Rookie of the Year. There are a lot of people who say no, he just hasn't played enough minutes. And then
I agree.
See, we're going to have words here.
How? I mean, he's only played 31 games. He shouldn't qualify for Rookie of the Year. I mean, these other guys have played a lot more games than he has. Yes. He's by far the best rookie.
Thank you. That is what the award is for. It's not best.
Well, we might as well. He should have never played one game then.
No, it's not for. Well, you would not have seen that he is the best.
All right, so if he played a week and he averaged 30 points, during that week span, Joel Embiid.
Whatever it took for you to say, whatever it took, the number of games it took for you to say, yeah, he is by far the best Rookie of the Year, of course. Whatever number that is, it was enough for you to say that. So he is the Rookie of the Year. It's not for best.
Because you want to know you want to know my reason why I say that? Because I don't know who the other rookies are.
See? He's not good. And that, by the way, is the other argument. If he was neck and neck with someone who had put out a complete season and had put up great stats and had made such an impact, I would say, look, you got to say that Joel came in second because he didn't go to the finish line. There is nobody in that category. This guy affected his team more than any other rookie. His usage rate was super high. What he contributed when he was on the floor was super high. That impression that he made upon you, that means he is Rookie of the Year. That's it.
The only reason he's not getting it from me because he was hurt and he wanted to be on stage dancing with Meek Mill.
So, Rachel,
you're not serious about basketball.
That's not why he's not playing.
He was hurt at the time. He was hurt at the time.
Listen, so a guy averaging 30 points plays that amount of games. He finished the season. You think he deserves to win a scoring title?
No, a scoring title is for if you've scored the most. Like these awards are for specific things.
He averages 30
points. You have to play to be the best rookie.
You have to qualify for more games.
I put together the best numbers in a rookie season.
So would you do the MVP that way?
There's not that much room on the trophy. It's best rookie. He was the best rookie. MVP is another one. We can argue about what MVP is for. Is it for putting together the best season? So therefore, maybe Russell Westbrook wins this year?
We can argue about that all day.
Or is it most valuable player to his team? In which case, do you take LeBron James off that team, and that's the biggest deficit, and he's the MVP? These awards have names. This one is Rookie of the Year.
We need to have this conversation again because you're not about to tell me taking LeBron James off his team and you take Russell Westbrook off his team.
But that's a different argument, and we will have that argument. But my point is,
I get you. He doesn't qualify. 31 games, no. Sarge deserves it.
If anybody was close next in line, it wouldn't be an argument.
True serum. Who just said in your ear, Producer Danny, did you
what's the next? Oh, this the replay. We got to take a break. But first, here's our distant replay from 1996. Take a look right here, ladies and gentlemen.
You better get out of the way.
Now, one of your other old teams, huge relief from them this morning. The Warriors announcing Kevin Durant's injury not as bad as initially feared. Here's how it happened last night. Yes, that is 275 pounds worth of Zaza Pachulia following on KD there. And this could have been season ending, but the team is now saying Kevin might even be back before the playoffs start. He has a grade 2 MCL sprain to his left knee, plus a bruise to his shin bone, and he will next be reevaluated in 4 weeks. So if you're doing the math at home, KD could potentially come back with 8 games to go in the regular season, but if you're a Warriors fan, I wouldn't circle that date on the calendar quite yet. Couple things to remember. Number 1, the Warriors have a history of being very conservative with injuries to their best players. Remember when Steph Curry got hurt during the playoffs last year? The team held him out an extra few games even after he started begging to come back. So I'd expect the same with Durant. Number 2, there is no such thing as a simple knee injury. Our friend Tracy McGrady here can tell you that. Everything about playing the game of basketball involves your knees. So even after you come back, if your explosiveness isn't quite there, if your speed isn't quite there, it can knock your game off just that fraction of an inch that makes the difference between being an MVP or just a regular NBA caliber forward. Players are also susceptible to overuse injuries in other parts of their lower body. KD himself knows this. Remember a few years ago, he had a foot injury, turned into an ankle injury, turned into a toe injury. And what about the rest of the Warriors? What happens to the team in the meantime? Well, unlike the Cavaliers, who've leaned on LeBron James for extra minutes lately, I'd actually expect Steve Kerr to start resting the other Warriors star players even more now. This is a team that gave up depth in order to sign KD in the first place. They simply cannot afford to lose anyone else. And if the Warriors are resting Steph or Clay or Draymond more, well, that puts that number 1 seed in danger. Take a look at the Western Conference picture here. Golden State only 4 games ahead of the Spurs. Now, how much does the number 1 seed really matter? No one can say for sure. How much will it hurt the Warriors to have to reintegrate KD into their lineup on the fly as the playoffs begin? No one can say for sure. And that's really the overall point here, guys. 4 months, everyone, from the pundits to the ones who set the lines in Vegas, they have treated the Warriors as the most rock-solid, sure thing in professional sports. Guess what? There is no rock-solid, sure thing in professional sports. It's what makes being a sports fan so thrilling, exhausting, electrifying. You never know where the ride is going to take you. All we do know is it is now officially time to buckle up. So, Tracy, we do know it's going to be interesting, but if you're the Warriors, how does losing KD impact you the most?
Well, I mean, you're talking about losing an MVP caliber player for your team. With that being said, I mean, this is the same team that won 73 games last year and has the 2-time MVP on their team.
Right.
So I think they'll be okay from the information that we got from the Warriors that he could possibly be back before the regular season ends. I think they'll be fine. And I think that number 1 seed will be fine. I think they have so much ground that San Antonio has to cover, you know.
It's a short amount of games.
It is a short amount of games. So San Antonio almost have to go perfect to catch these guys. And, again, they still have 3 All-Stars on their team.
I mean, I'll just mirror what he said. I'm not worried at all. The only thing, the worst-case scenario, you get 2nd seed. You still get home court into the finals.
Yeah, but how does the team dynamic work? We saw them work to integrate Durant. As you said, look, they worked fine last year without him. So we know that in that sense, they can be a functioning team without him. But then they changed to work him into the team. They changed some of their personnel. They changed the way they function. So you're in that locker room. You're on the floor. How does it shift if one of the key members of your team just isn't there anymore?
They didn't change that much where they don't have guys that played their role already. Iguodala's played that role. Sean Livingston has played that role. So they just fitting guys in that's already been in those roles before. It won't be a problem.
Rachel, you have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green still on your team. They're good.
Right.
They're good.
Now, having KD obviously elevates them to championship level.
Right.
They won't win a championship without KD. But I think to get through this stretch without him, they'll be fine.
I mean, in a way, this is kind of what they got KD for, right? Steph did get injured for part of the playoffs last year. There is a feeling that maybe that affected him even through the finals. You want that extra insurance of another superstar.
Absolutely.
Well, they have it. Now, he's the guy who went down, but still, you still have this whole padding of superstars. I do want to hit you real quick on the knee injury, though. This is different from what you had, but a knee injury is never simple. That is correct?
It's not, especially when it's a significant knee injury to where it messes with your mind. More of that is the mental part, you know, more than the physical part, because there's certain things when you get out on the basketball court, you know, you don't know if you could do it again.
Gotta trust your knee again.
You got to trust it, and that was the most difficult part about, you know, my knee injury. It was hard for me to get through that mental stage.
We'll see how he progresses with that. The Warriors, as we know, in the meantime, are going to progress with Matt Barnes, waived by Sacramento last week. Going back to the team where it all started for him, he took to Instagram to express his happiness last night. And Stax, he posted this pic of you and him and Baron Davis from back in the day with the caption, I'm going to cry here.
Them boys
Wish
tough
I could
right
bring
there.
you two with me. I'm at a loss for words right now. This was so sweet. He said, next to the birth of my children, this is the happiest day of my life. You see that? I mean,
I get it.
Hey, coming from Sacramento.
I get it. You know,
by the way, this is a text exchange. He posted this. We actually have your side of this that we've got up here. This is amazing. This is just so sweet to watch you guys go back and forth like this. The love is real, my friend.
From hell to paradise, baby.
You know how they go. And like I said, it's a lot of teams that I played for. It's a lot of teams Matt played for. And every team don't treat you like family. You've seen it when I go back to Golden State. They really treat me like I'm still playing there. And, you know, for him to go back and play, it's awesome, man. I'm happy. I'm happy for him to go back and play where he belongs in Golden State. He loves it there.
I love this clip, by the way, of you guys versus
We got each other back. Look at it. Yeah, I'm pushing the refs and everybody. Don't touch my teammates. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Should I bring up at the top of that text message chain it said Pedro?
Pedro Barnes. That's what we call him.
Why? And
he's an essay. He's an essay.
All right.
He's an essay.
You in that shirt today.
Yeah. I'm repping for Matt Barnes today.
That's a great addition for them. You know, I'm sure it's been a miserable season for Matt.
Yeah.
And coming from Sacramento and having this opportunity to win a championship, you know, changing cultures. Hasn't shot the ball well this year, but he's going to get a lot of wide open shots playing with these guys. And if he could just be consistent at knocking down jumpers and bringing that mental toughness, what he's always been his career, you know, this would be a great addition for him.
That's what they need more than anything. His toughness and his defense. They're going to score points.
Yeah, well, he will certainly bring that. But he's not Kevin Durant, so it'll be interesting to see
Not at
how
all.
it shifts.
Not at all.
Now, if Golden State does get any weaker from this, though, we talked about the Spurs briefly. There's other teams knocking at the gate, right? Even if they don't move up in the standings, they will be looking to take advantage. The Rockets certainly beating down the doorstep. GM Daryl Morey recently telling Bleacher Report, quote, we figure our best chance to beat Golden State is to send them a barrage of three-pointers. Daryl certainly built the roster that way, guys, right? I mean, Lou Williams even adding that recently. It's if I can't beat them, join them. Do you think that's effective?
I think this is a dangerous team for San Antonio, for Golden State, because this is the only team I think has the personnel to match up against Golden State shot for shot. With that being said, Golden State is one of the top 5 defensive teams in the league. Yeah. Houston is not that. So when the playoffs comes, that tempo is going to slow down. They're going to key in more on James Harden, guard those shooters out on the perimeter. And it's going to be whether you can stop them, because Golden State is a well-oiled machine. They're going to continue to have their flow, and they just have a lot more better players than
Golden State definitely a better team. I think they added another one-on-one player that can get to the basket with Lou Williams. So they can score more points now, but they still need more than just shooting threes to be going.
And on top of that, you have some guys, I'm talking about the Rockets, you have some guys on your roster that hasn't played in pressure-type situations.
Now, that's key.
Right.
So, yeah, they're knocking down shots now in this regular season, but when the stakes are high, let's see if they're knocking down those shots. But I mean, I give them a better chance than anybody else, though, because of James Harden.
I mean, it's a great example, though, of why Daryl Morey went out and built the roster this way. Kevin Durant goes down last night, and there was a point last night where the Warriors have now said, we thought his leg was broken. We thought maybe he was lost for the rest of the season. This stuff can happen. No one knows. You don't know how the season is going to go. This is why I hate predictions. You have to prepare for whatever might happen, and Daryl Morey is at least preparing Houston. And, of course, we'll have to see if it pays off or not. I don't know.